Hello and welcome to something that is not a special episode of ChetandJon's Really Drawn Finite Gaming Playlist. My name is Chet Roivas. I'm here with Joypod Dark Halls creator David Turner. Okay, right. This is a smash together of three things.
It's an experiment.
Okay, yeah, you could call it an experiment, certainly. The first part of this podcast... the first part of this is going to be the way... It's going to be like the most podcasts start with, hey, games, what are you playing? What's been going on?
Yeah,
that's what's going to be...
We have those podcasts, they do start like that.
But they do though, don't they? You know?
They do that.
We're going to do that thing, and then after that, there's going to be a section where you're going to hear me and Dave speak with a bunch of my friends in a pub, which we've just recorded. I don't know how much of it is going to be usable, possibly none. The reason we've done that is because I have been wanting for the last few months to do a top 10 in the format of our old show, but I was going to interview a different one of my friends each time talking about a game, because none of them read magazines, none of them read websites. They're very, very hardcore gamers, but they don't read about games, and I got so exhausted with the way games are spoken about.
But then you realise that your friends are pretty boring.
That's right. Well, we'll see how much of it is usable, but that was, I mean, that's what I wanted. The thing is, earlier today when we were talking about it, I just thought most people...
Most people.
I don't know. We probably should have done this before we went to the pub.
You're freaking out about it. It's just...
No, I mean, the thing is that format was supposed to... It was going to end with my number one, who was going to be my friend Ella, who's literally never played a video game in her life before.
You sounded like a garage band trying to say that our next album was supposed to be like the Black Album. I'm just explaining because I wouldn't want anyone to think that I thought, hey, do you know what's going to be really gripping to you guys? Me and a bunch of my mates having fucking booze, they're just having a fucking chat. You know what I mean? I wanted to try and see if it was interesting to hear people who are completely outside of the world of games, because I got so exhausted by chat by people who work in the industry and who are sort of enthusiast communities who read that stuff and whatever. But you've not mentioned the third part of the shoe.
Oh, the third part is going to be, ever since we recorded an episode towards the end of last year and we did the end of year show, people have got in touch and said, whatever happened to that box of Wii games that you and your girlfriend bought? Mm-hmm. So Dave and I, after we've recorded this, are going to sit up until we need to go to sleep and play as many terrible Wii games as we can, and we'll record the audio and then probably talk about it.
But listen, all we're saying, don't expect much.
Yeah, please don't. We are half cut,
but it's fun.
Yeah,
it's good to play games and talk about them, isn't it?
We hope.
No, but I mean, it's that like. Don't expect much. We just want to try a few things out, and if you enjoy it, then it's all good.
The reason
Chet Roivas.
the reason I mentioned the form is because the form of the first part where I spoke to friends of mine is because I still might do that because I have friends who've never played video games before.
You got friends?
Yeah, like one or two. I don't think you've met.
I always think that's a really without sounding too wanky, I think that's a really sort of interesting thing, because you get so caught up in the subculture of video games. You know, the whole. Yeah, I don't know. There's a clique, and everyone has a group of friends, and I feel that a lot of my friends, in terms of video gaming, are all hardcore, and they all think quite similarly, and it's it's a hard thing to wrap your head around.
Do they all read websites? Like, are they all up to speed on everything?
My hardcore gaming friends are all into it in a big way, and in this very similar way to everyone else, but. I know people that play games like just as much as we do. They stick to their franchises. They stick to things like Call of Duty and stuff like that. And I think it's interesting to get their point of view, because you don't hear that point of view a lot. It's quite a rare thing to hear. So I think you should.
I'd say because and there's the I really want to grill my girlfriend about the fact that she's still playing Simpsons Tapped Out after 4 years.
Brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, why not? But it was like today. We were in a pub and we were having a few beers and that, and we were chatting about games, and it was Destiny. Everyone's playing Destiny at the moment. We were all talking about Destiny, and then the moment you try to like say, oh, how about this game?
It all went straight back to
Destiny, and that's. I mean, you get people that pick a game and that's it. That's them for a good couple of years, and fine. Like, there's no problem with that. It's just really interesting to hear what they like, what drives them away from every other game, and keeps them at Destiny.
Especially people who like primarily play a lot of games. I mean, we always used to play everything, and they're as clued up as me in a way. But I understand that if you're writing about games, simplifying elements down to systems or mechanics and using those words, I understand that's a way to make things understandable to people. But I couldn't hear another I enjoyed speaking with my friends about games because they do not read reviews. They do not. So I just maybe it'll be interesting after this. You're going to hear.
We are being so self-conscious.
Okay, all right. All right, good point. Okay, well,
it's going to be fucking brilliant. Sit down, put your fucking headphones on, crack one out.
Give us an 80-star review on iTunes.
Like and review the show.
All right. Well, look, we've been at the pub basically all day, so I really am apologetic if this doesn't make any sense. I'm sure it'll make some kind of sense.
If you're in the south of England, go to Burger Bros. So
if you're anywhere near Brighton, go to Burger Bros.
Can we make them a sponsor? For free?
I'd do it for nothing, yeah, for sure. The thing is, everyone knows who Burger Brothers are now. They are the number one TripAdvisor rated restaurant in the entire country.
Do you know what, right? Like I've had burgers. I've enjoyed burgers. Fine, right? And Chet here has said to me for it's got to be 6 months since I've known you. You were going, oh, Burger Bros. And I'm one of these guys that if someone recommends something, I instantly hate it. And I don't want to get involved. And we sat in a park with a Burger Bros. And I was thinking, fuck this burger, fuck this guy. I took one taste. That is a good burger.
You can't be. You cannot. They've never. They really are next level, and I'm just. They could have a. They could expand.
How are we talking about burgers?
I don't know. Okay. Well, look. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So let's. Hey, what have you been playing, Dave?
So I've mainly been playing The Witcher over the past couple of weeks, and I wasn't supposed to be reviewing it. I've never had experience with The Witcher before. I don't know the backstory. I'm not into fantasy. It was the wrong call to make from the editor, but he said try The Witcher out, and it really took me by surprise. Actually, like it's a very very it's not what I expected. Like I thought it was all going to be fantasy and magic and all that, and it is that. But they have this amazing way of like linking it to reality, and that is just, it's special because you're sitting there, right? Let me give you. It's hard to give you an example without spoiling shit, but like when you're riding through a forest on your horse and you're hearing the crows in the background, that links you back to reality. If you're like, there's a quest line that I was doing with something called the Bloody Baron, who, is the head of a town and stuff like this. And you kind of think, he wants his daughter and his wife back. This is all normal shit. But they pound it into you. The realism, not the realism, but the sort of links to reality. So, okay, you're using your Witcher senses to smell his apartment to find out what's happened. But then it's linked back to domestic abuse. And all of a sudden, you've gone from this sort of ridiculous tale to, holy shit, there's realism here, and all of a sudden I'm interested in this character, and he's trying to explain his domestic abuse, but you're fundamentally, as a moral person, against it, but you're seeing his anguish and stuff like that, and that's where The Witcher excels. Combat, fucking shit.
Is it shit though?
It is bad.
The combat in the second one was really quite good.
Okay, maybe I'm being harsh.
Because you've come from Bloodborne, that's why.
Exactly, and it's standard. It's standard fucking shit. The thing is, when I play a game now, after games like Bloodborne, Dark Souls and that, if you get killed, you're kind of like, okay, I'm dead, that's it. Whereas when you're playing Bloodborne, it's like, I'm dead, there's a reason why I'm dead, I did not take notice of this. I need to improve my game. With a game like The Witcher, you're going, okay, I'm dead and he killed me. Great. Just press start and hopefully I'll get through it next time. That's the difference. There's no link to the combat. It's just if you hit X, you'll kill him. And
so it's harder to enjoy in the aftermath of Bloodborne.
Yeah, I'd say there's part of that, but then this game does. The Witcher 3 does things that the Bloodborne doesn't. Like Bloodborne is all about, there's a story there, but you've really got to fucking work to find it. Yeah. Whereas The Witcher tells a great tale. Like it really, really fucking does. The first hour of The Witcher, I would say 90% of it is cutscenes and character building, but it doesn't get annoying. Because the characters are so interesting, and because the world they've created is so good that you don't care. You want to hear more of it. It's not infuriating.
Was that thing the mission you talked about with domestic abuse? Was that a main story quest or was that a side?
Yeah, it was a main story quest.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, there are interesting side quests, and that was the biggest problem because I was reviewing this game, and when you're reviewing a game, you want to get through it so you can talk about it, right?
Yeah.
But I got distracted, and usually with games that I'm reviewing, I try not to get distracted and lost. But it's impossible to do in The Witcher because you see these towns and all of a sudden you're playing fucking card games with some dickhead in a pub, and you just go, why am I doing this? I need to be...
Yeah, okay.
But it's the sort of game that grabs you like that, It's I'm really interested to hear what you think of it. Because
I can't wait to play.
You'll hate the gameplay. I
don't know if that's... I don't think... But as somebody who's tried and failed to get into Bloodborne...
Were there horses? Were you riding horses in Witcher 2?
In the second one, I don't think so, no.
You've got a horse and it's a nightmare. There's times where you're riding along and it'll just go off into a stream and you're stuck. And you've got to get off the horse and climb up and then run away... and then call it.
I haven't heard about that.
There's shit like that, and it you just think you've completely ripped me out of the world and dealt with mechanics, and that sucks. And it does stuff like that. It's annoying, but the other shit makes up for it. Like when you're walking through a town and you're hearing stuff, and when you go how often in a video game have you walked into a pub and felt like, people don't like me here, and then you get into a fight or whatever, and not in a mechanical way, not in someone coming up to you going, I don't like you, right? It's like a proper people muttering under their breath, and you can feel the tension building up, and all of a sudden you're in a fight in a pub. That's what he gets right. But a normal game would be like, line of dialogue, I don't like you.
Yeah.
I will take you on. And you can avoid fights. You can be a nice guy and say, no, don't worry about it, mate. But there are times where you, like when you're playing the game, you're like, and the game's so based in grey areas. When you get into an argument with someone in real life and whatever, there's grey areas all over the place. Like when you're playing Mass Effect, which I love Mass Effect. But Mass Effect, it's, do you want to be a good guy in this? Or do you want to be a bad guy?
Or do you want to be somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, exactly, right? Or do you want to go,
yeah.
But like in The Witcher, it's like, do you want to call this cunt a cunt? Or do you want to not call him a cunt? Or do you, and you're like, but is he a cunt? Or is he not? And you're sitting there going, actually, I don't know which way this is going to go. And it's presented like, say, right, okay, the best way I can describe it, say you go to an office, you start working in a new office, and a guy comes up to you, and you're not 100% told whether he's going to be, like, your mate or an arsehole. And you sit there and you go, he's saying nice things, but he's also a bit of an arsehole or whatever. There's that grey area there where you just kind of think, do I commit to this guy? Do I give him my time, or do I just fob him off?
This sounds like the second one. It sounds good in the same way.
I've not played the second one.
It was free on Games with Gold, you mug.
When?
Fairly recently, I mean, but I suppose
Xbox One now.
Yeah, exactly. Most people I know do not turn on this. Exactly.
We can start winding up the cogs.
I still turn my 360 on now and again.
Do you, Mick?
I really
want to plan your 360 now.
To be honest, I've been building a video that I'm going to finish eventually, and I was going to call it "How long does it take to get a game?" And I log on to all sorts of games that I've got on my hard drive and see how long it takes to matchmake you a game.
Sounds brilliant. Just sitting in a lobby. What are you doing? It's the worst idea of all time.
But if you're interested about a game that you may be contemplating buying, you want to know if people are still playing it.
No, you're right. Yeah, I want to make a video series of me just sitting around watching paints dry.
I will freely admit that it has taken an inordinate amount of time to do something that probably will be of use to almost nobody. But
I'm just sitting on YouTube going, what if you could get a game of Wax now?
What's Wax?
It's the first Xbox Live game.
Wax?
Yeah, Waxed.
Whacked? I don't even know.
It's like I can't believe you've not played Whacked.
I bet you it's not called Whacked. I've never heard of a game called Whacked.
Yeah,
Whacked?
Whacked. It's a 3D
Hold on,
action.
I'm gonna get, there's no. I bet you the game's called something else. Wax Xbox 360.
WHACKED.
All right, okay. I'll tell you something interesting. It
better be what you.
Okay, this is probably not interesting. Mortal Kombat 3 Ultra. You can't get a game on that. At 2 different times of day.
That is interesting. Wow.
But
Tell me more.
If you go to the first ever Xbox Live iteration of Street Fighter 2, the really primitive one, get a game in that within 30 seconds.
Right, I'm enjoying this, but if you could put this in YouTube,
okay, forget it. There apparently is a game called Whacked on the Xbox 360.
WHACKD. No, not the 360. The original Xbox.
You were talking about the 360.
Games. I said it's one of the first Xbox games. Xbox Live games.
Okay, I thought we were talking about 360. Okay, forget about that. I don't. Okay, there's a game. I found a game. It's on the Xbox, but never mind.
Anyway, tell me, how many people can get a game in MotoGP these days?
I mean, nobody, because that's on the original Xbox, right?
Yeah, that game is
Carcassonne on the 360 you can get instantaneously. You can get a game on that.
Yes.
I sat in a lobby for the maximum's 2 hours, but I'm doing other things. I leave it on.
Why are you doing this shit?
I thought it would be an interesting video to have a sort of document of how popular or unpopular.
What's your next game?
What on that thing? I mean, I did it over the course of.
It's video series you're talking about.
Well, no, I'm going to cram them all into one video. And say, this is how long it took me here. And maybe, I don't know why I'm doing it.
Chet, don't do this. I mean...
But how long does it take to get a game? Volume 1. And then it's...
Cheggers going on naked in the jungle.
Right, okay,
exactly what it is.
I've invested way too much time to leave it alone, so I'm just going to put it up anyway.
I can't wait to see this.
But it's just going to be like, game, 20 minutes, game, no time. If you buy a game and it's Carcassonne and you want to know whether people are going to play it...
Right, okay, there's women on the internet that take 2 penises in their ass for the hits. And I'm going to watch this over that. I've got a choice.
I think people might find it quite interesting.
I don't think people will.
All right. Well, we will see what happens. If this goes viral and everyone's like, look at this is fucking fascinating.
Can you imagine that? BuzzFeed, you won't believe how many hours this guy did sit in a lobby waiting for a game of Whacked.
I can't even remember. I did several games sat in the lobbies. Not Ninja.
God, why?
Not the Ninja Gaiden. There's another game on Xbox 360. You can't get a game on that. Yeah, I just thought it would be interesting.
So, what other games can't you get a game of?
Okay, hold on a second. There are several. Why can't I remember them? Don't worry about it. This is a bad topic of conversation because I can't remember.
It is, and it's a bad topic for everyone to
Well, we'll see. I'll tell you what, this will be the number 1 YouTube hit of the year.
Move over, KSI. Could you imagine that? If KSI went, right, I'm going to take a break from playing FIFA and hitting my friends.
I'm going to go and see how long it takes.
See how long it takes for me to get Unreal Tournament going up on the Xbox.
I think it might have been John, it might have been someone else. I said, do you think that's a good idea for a video? And they went, yeah.
Who said that? No, man, John. John's got a lot more sense than that.
Okay, maybe it wasn't John. I'm pretty sure it was, but...
Well, he's the nicest guy ever, so he'd just say, Oh yeah.
He's a very nice person, but if I said something really fundamentally stupid, like you're implying,
Well,
he would have said he would have told me that it was a shit idea.
Could you imagine this the other way round? With me turning around to you and saying, I've got a new video series where I sit in a lobby trying to see how long it takes to get a game.
But you compile them into a very, very abrupt video, and it's just, I'd find it interesting.
Sounds like autism. I'm not being straight up. Okay. That's what it sounds like. I just want to see if the set rules apply.
If I was watching this video and a game I used to love came up and it said I tried to get a game on this and it took me 30 seconds, I'd be like, oh wow, other people are playing it. I'm going to rebuy that game. Okay.
I would love that. You see you know when you go into a YouTube video, you see in the bottom right hand corner the minutes, and you go on it. Did I get a game of, I don't know, did I get a game of Bulletstorm? And then there's like 17 minutes, it says, and you click it, and it's silence and the lobby flashing up. And then you go, scan through it, and you get to the end, and it just goes, no. What are you offering to the world?
It's going to be 5 seconds. How long did it take? That game took that long. That game took that long. That game took that long. Is that not interesting to you?
No, it's fucking. That's as dull as it gets, man.
Compressed into a very, very abrupt video. Isn't that interesting? Oh, I used to play that game. Fuck, people are still playing it.
It's whatever Digital Foundry or whatever it is. This
game dropped 1 frame on PS4 versus Xbox One. Digital Foundry, I don't really understand that. But I mean, fair play. I mean, that's whatever.
Right. So what have you been playing?
I've only been playing Destiny and Battlefield. That's it.
Wow, really?
That's been really.
You play 10 games a week.
I know.
You've ditched indie games.
I have a look on there, but I don't really play anything. To be honest, the amount of times me and John have said to each other, "How the fuck did we do that program for 2.5 years?" I don't really understand.
So how's it feel now that you're not doing it? Like, because
it's brilliant. I love it. Love it.
You love not doing it.
I just love having really nothing to do with games at all, apart from playing Destiny with my friends. That's it. I love it. Love it. There are games that I can't wait to see.
Why? What?
I never felt any kinship with that universe in the first place. The whole.
Really?
No, I never. But
But you're so passionate about games. You must have some sort of. There must be part of you that goes, like. You love that. Don't try and act a cool dude.
Who's acting? What are you talking about?
No, what I'm saying, right? I'm not having a pop at you. All I'm saying is that you're saying I don't have any kindred spirit with that fucking universe, but you clearly did. Like, I mean, as a listener, you clearly did.
Yeah, but I don't.
Unless you're turning around to me now and saying I'm the best actor in the world, then okay, fair enough. But you clearly had a link with that universe. Like,
no, but what I'm talking about is that I never felt a part of it, and I never really kind of wanted to feel a part of it. So taking distance, walking away from it a bit, it's been great. I don't.
Yeah, fair enough. That's great, but there's no way that you weren't affected by video games. There's no way.
I didn't say that. What I said was that as that was, for several years, that was my sole or primary source of income. That was my job.
Yeah.
And I didn't really feel any kind. I never felt like part of. I never wanted to be part of the industry, and I never wanted to be part of the circles that make up that world. I just kind of felt like a little bit of an outsider. So being away from it has been the best thing in the world.
What I'm saying is that you were so. I mean, as a massive fan of your podcast, what I loved so much about it was that you and John were genuinely invested in these games, and they genuinely affected not your lives, but they affected. I mean, they affected.
Well, they did. Yeah, they did. Genuinely, yeah.
Do you not miss that side of the exploration of these little games?
I feel like my passion for it has just been beaten out of me because I don't. I think I wish I was born in 100 years' time, because I think that the attitude.
What does that mean?
Because the attitudes are so retrograde. The way people treat video games is so dismissive, and they're so fucking. I don't really understand the way people. That I grew up obsessed with film criticism. About one of the. I got bought a book when I was 12 years old, and it was just essays about horror movies, and it was the greatest. It was because we've reached a period of enlightenment where we can discuss things like that and really. I can't discuss a video game without people getting furiously angry about this, and so I'm happy to be disagreed with.
I know where we're going. But like, so you've seemed angry today about Santa happened on Twitter.
Oh God!
You go, because I don't know what's happened, and you refused to tell me. So let's go there.
I just don't want to talk about it because this is the world. This is what I'm so happy to not be a part of.
Right. Okay. So what happened?
Okay. Periodically, there are spikes on our YouTube channel. One of our videos will suddenly get a load of views.
It's no look natural, but carry on.
What's the view count?
Success of 3.5 million views.
How much has the guy that ripped it off got?
There was like, I don't know. There was like 50,000 on YouTube and.
Hold on. What if I put "look natural Ed" into
Google? It comes up automatically.
Directly to your.
I don't know. No, I think it goes to YouTube first.
Watch
right?
David Turner's Vine. Look natural Ed.
Oh yeah, top one. Yeah.
But there's a YouTube one.
Famous.
Who did that?
So. Yeah, someone's
Dave
taken
Long.
the Vine and they've just repeated it. That's me talking.
Yeah.
Okay, Ed, look natural.
How many views are that?
Natural.
31,000.
Motherfucker.
At least it's not monetised. Then you really have cause to be angry because if he was making money off that,
Yeah, no. I mean, I've done well out of it. Not financially, but followers and stuff. That's almost financial, isn't it? So come on. So what happened? What happened on Twitter?
Oh, for God's sake, Twitter. This is the reason I don't go on Twitter. Like I said, there are random spikes in our videos. So sometimes I go onto Twitter, onto the Chet and John feed, and I search. I put Chet and John into the search to see who's sharing the video, if anyone is. And I found someone making a comment, and it's somebody who I know a lot of people who listen to our show are friends with. And if there's any overriding problem with the industry or just the people around video games, it's that somebody saying something somebody saying something out of line is so much less important than the fact that they have to look out for their buddy. And that's something that I've never said.
Okay.
Jon Denton could say the most offensive thing in the world, and he would get.
Well, yeah, he's black, so we all know that.
But he I'm sure he'd tell you himself that he would get more shit. The most shit he'd get off anyone would be from me, because I don't just because you're my friend doesn't mean I'm going to drop my standards. That's the bottom line. If you're a cunt, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, it's my buddy. And that's what I encountered all the time when you were having a discussion with someone about someone either in the games press or someone in one of those sort of prominent fan communities.
Yeah.
It didn't make any difference if someone had really stepped out of line because, well, he's my friend. I don't care. My friend, I have better standards of my friends.
Yeah.
If somebody said some of the shit that people get away with, they wouldn't be my friends. Have some, that's...
Right, okay, you're going off topic, so what happened?
I don't even want to fucking talk about this, Dave. I swear to...
You said all day you want to talk about it.
Because it was really bothering me.
So what happened?
Okay, I'll find this guy.
So you created this video...
No, it's nothing about it. I'll find where it started. He's this guy, he does some podcast about it. They read an adventure book.
Yeah, I know that. Pod Your Own Adventure.
Okay, right, yeah, I mean, I don't know the guy's name, but that's him. And I'm wary of that guy anyway, because he was really aggressive to the guy from Cane and Rinse, the Scottish guy from Cane and Rinse.
Right, well, Darren Foreman?
No, his name's James something. James Carter, is it?
James...
Is he Scottish? I'm pretty sure he's Scottish, isn't he?
I don't think James Carter's... Well, anyway, go on. What, the guy that retweets all the Ninja Theory stuff?
I don't know what you're talking about. What were you trying to say? James Carter's not involved with Ken and Rinse because he invited us to be on it, and I'd be pretty fucking worried if he wasn't.
James Carter's, I don't think he's Scottish.
Isn't he Scottish? I swear to God he's Scottish.
I know. It's getting weird.
Okay, all right. He was really this guy, this Pod Your Own Adventure guy, was really aggressive to him when he said that he thought we should have won a GMA, and he was really fucking rude.
Really?
He was just like, "How dare you say that Matt Lees doesn't deserve to win a podcast?" And he said, "I didn't say that. I was just saying that a podcast I really wanted it to win." And he was, and I just thought, why are you being shitty to somebody who just said that we should have won an award? Anyway, hold on. He fucking said something or other. Oh, for fuck's sake! I can't. This is why I left Twitter. I go on for 5 seconds and then you fucking. Do you even want to hear about this? This is boring. I mean, this is
wanted to talk about it all day.
No, I didn't want to talk about you. I said I really just.
So
it was
the show is your actual.
I said I thought we were going to sit down sober and we could have
we're not sober, so let's deal with the situation.
Okay, I'm going to try to be as kind as I can because I believe in being at least decent in these conversations.
Well, I'm a mediator in this situation. No, I've spoken.
Okay, I basically
been fine.
I basically googled I put into this the name of the show, and this guy said I only listened to 2 episodes of Chet and Jon's. In one, they discussed Yiba and Ninja Gaiden and came to the conclusion that it wasn't sexist. And then he carried on. No, you don't get to decide that. Your opinions are not the only ones that exist. Stop being so self-absorbed. So I said to him, do you have a different take on the material? I'd be really interested to hear it because that nobody played that fucking game. That's my problem. It's like here's my take on it. I worked for 2 years as a paid film critic, and discussing gender representation and stuff like that is a lot more to the forefront in film criticism than it is in video games. So I think I have a little bit. I do try to take.
You're on a high horse. So what happened?
Right. But then it got into this conversation that I don't even really understand. Hold on a second. The thing is, deciding whether something is or isn't sexist isn't something that can be decided by men. It's the wrong perspective. The art is subjective. I can say whether I think something is sexist or it isn't.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
In cases like this, you should defer to alternative perspectives. If somebody tells you that they think a product is sexist, racist, or homophobic, your reaction should be to listen to them because they've probably got more of a personal stake in it.
Yeah, but that's exactly what you're doing. You were asking for his perspectives.
Nobody, but the thing is, the only perspectives that I dismissed, he said, "Oh, you're being too dismissive." I dismissed people that saw a screenshot of literally characterization written down.
Yeah. I saw that. There was a screenshot when
of a villainous character being really, really horrible about female characters because that's but I don't know if you think that that's implying something outside of the game. I don't really understand what you're trying to say. Are you trying to say that the people that wrote it are somehow suspicious? Are you trying to say that it's you can't make any kind of judgment call based on a fucking screenshot, and that's what it's not an opinion. No. Ninja Gaiden Yiba is sexist, is it? I've always wanted to talk to somebody who has anything different to say. Anyway, I don't. This is this conversation.
But like sitting here as a friend and as a fan, right? It bothers you. It bothers you. This one guy questioning you.
I would love to sit down with somebody who thought that Yiba was a really disgusting game and morally repugnant but nobody has. Nobody's played it. I'm arguing, I'm dismissing people who've seen a screenshot or who've seen a marketing campaign, and apparently that's enough to dismiss.
What I'm asking you is that you've had this tweet from a guy you've never met, you don't know. Why is it getting to you that much? Like what?
Because this is the industry.
Yeah.
This is people who play video games. This is somebody trying to come at me and saying that you're not allowed to say what you said because you should listen to other opinions. And my answer was, what opinions? Give me those opinions. I'd love to discuss those opinions because if I think you see it in newspapers all the time. If you read The Guardian, on Monday there'll be I saw a film at the weekend and it's fucking sexist. On Wednesday, I saw a movie and I don't think that person thinks it's completely open to interpretation and everyone has a different view. And this guy telling me that I should listen to people who aren't white males and who aren't heterosexual, and I don't know what I'm supposed to. I have no answers for this. I don't really understand this.
Yeah, it's a different. Like Twitter is. I like Twitter. I'm a fan of Twitter. I've been on Twitter. I like tweeting and shit, but there is that sort of immediate knee-jerk reaction. That does get my back up a little bit.
Here is what I think about video games and people who write about video games and people who talk publicly about video games. Here's what I think about video games. It is a world of innumerable adequate talkers, very, very few thinkers, and almost no fucking doers.
I think that's unfair. I think when you're saying that, I think you're right to an extent when you're talking about people that are on the website, the big websites and stuff. And I think, I'm not slagging the websites off, but I think there's a lot of this stuff gets hits, reactionary, it's Daily Mail theory, reactionary headlines get clicks, right? So when you say the industry, I don't know. I think there are a lot of thinkers out there. There are a lot of people doing some genuine chat, but that doesn't get elevated to the. That's not the ones that are getting retweeted. It's all about the fucking headlines and let's get the clicks or whatever.
No, but look, I am a critic. I am paid to have views on things, and people can agree with me, they can disagree with me, whatever. I played Yiba, and I thought, as something that had been attacked before it came out as being sexist, I played it and I thought, this is not sexist. I think that whole fucking pre-release fuck show was an embarrassment to the profession.
Yeah.
And I said that. And this guy is now telling me that I can't have that view because you shouldn't say anything. Defer to other opinions. There aren't any other opinions. If somebody wants to come to me and say, I actually thought that there was real problems in the way that game was made, fine, I'd love to have a conversation with you about it, but they don't exist. Yeah. He's saying, don't express your opinion. This is mental, this whole escapade. You dismiss other people's takes on the work and are seemingly very flippant about it. I'm dismissive of people who have no view. People who are dismissing, I don't. People saying that a game's sexist off a screenshot of characterisation written by a writer, I don't.
Right. It was the same thing as we've spoken a million times before about. Killer is Dead, and the Gigolo missions, and the shit that come out before the game had come out, and it was, it felt to me that you can't have sexist characters in games because people call it sexist. If anyone that's played, I've completed Killer Who's Dead, you've completed Killer Who's Dead, the main character in it was sexist, and he got his, that was made very clear at the end of the game. This guy is a prick. You can't, it was made very clear that the guy's sexist and he's a cunt. And that was it.
But the reason Killer is Dead is really quite brilliant, and I'm going to play it again soon because I really was overwhelmed. But I played it passing the pad with my girlfriend, and we were buzzing when we finished it. And seeing the reaction to it, I just thought, I can't believe the state of this industry, because it examines that line between when something's completely unacceptable and when it isn't. And the fact that James Bond is acceptable is ridiculous. At the end of James Bond movies, when he's talking to his boss and he's like, "Excuse me, boss, I'm just going to go and fuck this woman." There's nothing charming about it. There's nothing. If you look at that in a real perspective, that's disgusting. And Mondo Zappa is a fucking sleazebag. Yeah. He's an absolute cunt. And I thought looking at that archetypal character of James Bond, which everyone's completely happy to accept. If you look at it in the cold light of day, he's a fucking scumbag. And the fact that game examines where that line is fascinating. And yet nobody is really interested in that whatsoever because...
I disagree. I don't think it's a very good game at all. I was...
The problem with
it went nowhere. I didn't think there was quite.
Are you talking? The problem is that you have to break it down into the gameplay was very, very simplistic and it was derivative. But I was predominantly talking about the narrative. Yeah. That's the problem with talking about games.
But the narrative for me was, I think it was a bit contrived. I think it was a bit forced. I didn't quite like it, but I wouldn't call the game sexist. There was a sexist character in it, and I think the majority of the game was seen through his eyes. I don't believe anything that happened in it because I think it was all through his head. The whole idea that the game is essentially Mondo Zappa's brain. The Gigolo missions were through his eyes. It wasn't what was going on.
Absolutely.
I don't even think they existed, the women in it. I think it was all, that's how he envisions women, and then you've got the whole, I'll do this contract for a kiss. I'm sitting there as a player thinking, that conversation never happened. That was all in your fucking head, and that's what you think the world is about.
Also, they kept, in Killer is Dead, they keep going back to this flashback he keeps having as a child at a dinner table.
That's right.
And I kept watching it and just thinking, this is really self-indulgent. I don't care about him. And I'm pretty sure the boss stops at one point and just comments on how self-conscious... I just remember thinking, there's so many layers to this story about how it's just completely destroying...
Yeah, but I wasn't interested in those layers because I didn't want to delve into that character. And
I thought it was. I thought the character was fascinating because it was completely unapologetic about what a disgusting and It's completely self-absorbed. The game basically can't progress because Mondo Zappa is so self-absorbed about this fucking memory he has about being a child. The game can't progress because this guy is so self-absorbed.
And the fucking eggs on the...
Exactly, it's just like, what? Just fucking move on. And I'm pretty sure one of the bosses said, there was a really self-referential moment where he kind of insinuated that the plot can't go on because you're too fucking self-absorbed.
But the big level was the one on the train. That was the one where it was kind of like, this is, the whole thing's a fucking mess.
I see.
That was kind of like, that was not jumping the shark, but sort of just... fucking booting the shark in the face. It was kind of like, okay, we know it's not a mess, but that's the wrong word, but it's like, I know this whole narrative is a fucking joke, and this is expressing the fact that it's a joke or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that game is it's one of the first games I've seen that I think is ripe for the kind of scrutiny and studying that is awarded to films all the fucking time, or novels all the fucking time, because there's so much going on in it.
But that's the difference. Like, we're sitting here and we're talking about Killer is Dead, and we're talking about what it gets right and what it gets wrong, and B, the actual narrative and what they're trying to prove, right? And I think that's how games should be discussed.
Yeah, but they won't be in our lifetimes. That's the problem. They won't be in our lifetimes because us trying to have a discussion about a game means nothing next to somebody saying that it should be banned, and that the people and that the industry luminary behind it should never be allowed to make a game again. That's what we fucking want, don't it? Hey, fucking, I'm not fuck the Daily Mail, but fucking ban everything you can. Yeah. I can't. This is what I'm talking about. I can't be bothered with this. I feel like I'm above it. I'm sorry if that sounds like I'm a cunt, but
it does pretty much sound like you're...
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. I don't care. I do not care. I'd love to sit down and discuss I'd love to be able to sit down and discuss video games the way I frequently discuss movies or literature with friends of mine. This whole... but I think it's intrinsically tied to Twitter. I don't understand how people don't realise that when they're trying to communicate via tabloid headlines in as few characters as possible with maximum impact, they don't realise the fucking correlation between what they're doing and tabloid fucking people writing headlines. Yeah. I can't be bothered. So I'm done.
I'll tell you what we need now is a big box of Wii games and lose ourselves in Carnival.
I'm telling you, they're a lot more varied than Carnival games.
Right, okay, so let's discuss this because I think this is quite interesting. Your feeling towards the Wii is very different to what I feel towards the Wii.
What's your feeling towards the Wii?
I hate it.
Why do you? Yeah, but I think that's. I mean, I hate the things that you hate about it, but you never saw the things that are to be loved.
Well, then maybe that will get exposed tonight.
No, but... we don't want to play good games tonight. We want to play fucking Mad Dog McCready.
But the Wii, for me, represented a side of gaming that I hate. I hated... Like, everyone says Mario Galaxy is amazing.
It is.
And I loved it. But... The fact that I was playing with a fucking stick and...
But it works perfectly on that controls. No. The Wiimote and Nunchuck was just perfect.
No, not for me. I hated the separation between my hands. I hated pointing. I didn't want to point at fucking things when I'm trying to play a game. I didn't want to feel like I'm... like... The Wii controls for me is like... when there's something in the way of the infrared thing on your TV... And you're like, and you press the button, and you're like, oh no,
something's wrong.
I've got to get my remote, and I've got to lift it up a little bit.
Something's wrong. I never experienced that at all, ever. I'm
not saying it was wrong.
No, I think something was wrong with your setup. Something was wrong with your setup.
No. You're misunderstanding. I'm not saying anything was wrong with the fundamental controls. It always picked things up that I was doing. But I didn't want to lift my arm to go and do something in a fucking game. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to sit back, kick back, play a video game. I didn't want to... Oh, no, I've got to now move my control in a certain way to get something done in a fucking game. And it was everything. Zelda did the same shit. I don't want to fucking whip my arm about. I don't want to do it.
I do. When it works as well as they made some of those games work, I do.
Fine. I don't want to sit there going, go throw a bomb. I don't want to throw a bomb. I want to press a fucking B button. Bomb.
That's fair enough. The problem is that some of the best games I've ever played were on the Wii, and nobody played them.
Like what?
Pandora's Tower. An amazing game.
Let's fucking do it.
We don't want to play good games tonight, Dave. We want to put on. We're going to sift through this fucking pile and find the biggest heaps of dog shit. I want to play Mad Dog McCree 2.
Let me just put my hand in the box. Here we go. Right, let's have a look. We got Carnival Games 1, Carnival Games 2, Carnival Games 3. What is it? Carnival Games Summer?
There's no Carnival Games.
What's Carnival Games Summer? Carnival Games Spring? What is this shit?
Look, I'm telling you, we'll find some stuff that's entertainingly bad.
Alright, let's do it.
Alright. Cool. Okay, right, so that was apparently what we've been playing, like every other podcast begins. Now I'll put in a brief snapshot of what we discussed at the pub, which is primarily Destiny. So if you're not into Destiny, you probably won't enjoy it. And then after that, we'll have some Wii stuff, I guess. I suppose.
Let's do it, man.
All right, hooray!
Let's do it. I'm for it.
I'm going for it.
Right. If we're talking Destiny, what levels are we now?
Well, look on my bad boy tights. He's a 31 these days. No, 33. He's 33 depending on what.
33, depending on what.
Yeah.
Did you get the DLC then?
Oh god, yeah. Oh yeah.
They bought the special.
I got it when it first came out. They bought the 200 quid version or whatever it is.
90 quid.
So what do you think the new DLC is better than
Phase 2 one, way better than the first.
Yeah.
better, isn't it?
In pretty much every way. The levels are better. Everything just looks better and just feels better. And
It felt like they'd learned a lot from the first set of DLC.
They've had a decent amount of time.
aren't they different level designers or anything to do with that? Or is it the same
I
guys?
literally do think it was lessons learned. I think they put that first one out to test the waters, and they realised that it wasn't quite enough, and it didn't really play to what was good about Destiny.
It was okay. I love the rush of all the hive and stuff that happened at certain points, but yeah, it left me wanting a lot more than what I bargained for.
That is Destiny though? You always left wanting more.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, that's it, and it's like.
But they're very good at doing that, I suppose. That's why you keep going back to it.
Chet, have you finally turned the corner with Destiny? Are you a fan now?
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it just got its
Probably
head.
me that I wouldn't play anything else apart from Destiny.
How much you hate that game?
Yeah, I don't know
We
what.
took a lot of abuse, to be fair. Seriously, when it first came out and us were playing it,
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the same thing.
Yeah, but I don't.
So it's all about that.
I think now they've
He was
simplified
trying to
it
push
as well.
Hardline on us.
Hardline is really good. Hardline is underrated. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
What? They're not putting it on
EA
EA.
said there's a new big title coming to EA Access.
Titanfall.
It's basically they've said apparently in the terms and conditions Titanfall is not considered to be put out as an EA Access.
Oh, because it wasn't. It was right. Okay.
So
Right.
they're saying it's either going to be Dragon Age Inquisition or
Already?
or
That's
Hardline.
still quite new.
Yeah.
Why just such Hardline? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be one of the two. I reckon Hardline because I can't imagine sales are big.
Yeah, that makes you feel warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, to be honest, there's been a lot of complaints about like underpopulated servers and whatnot. So, but they can't put that on EA.
That's
Access.
why I'm dying. Even though I own Titanfall, I'm dying for it to be Titanfall because it means that the servers start
It's
getting
still a
busy
brilliant
again.
game.
Yeah, it's fucking incredible.
Really enjoyed
that
it.
game.
Yeah.
So
Are they not busy
Done-
these
I
days
still
anymore?
haven't played the new DLC stuff, like the survival mode.
Oh, that's
Oh,
really
yeah,
good.
it's really good.
Really.
Yeah.
It's
I really rate that game. I think it's brilliant. It's one of the best games on 360 on the Xbox One.
Destiny, it's not like Batters though, because Battlefield is the thing. I think Destiny is actually quite bad.
It's not.
In terms of what though? They're different games.
I'd much rather like
You play
if
the
you're.
Crucible because you want to get the rewards.
That's
That's
but-
why you play the Crucible. It's
But
not
I
like
woke
an
up.
online game where you want to play.
I woke up this morning with a really dry mouth and I needed a drink. My first port of call was to check the bounties and fucking.
I saw you two come on about 8 o'clock in
Yes,
the morning.
Yeah, but look,
Like, what are these mugs doing?
there must be more to
At
it
8
than
o'clock.
just-
They haven't got kids. Why are you going to wait?
To be honest, I got to a point last week where I thought I'd much rather that parents policed their children playing games like this rather than like Grand Theft Auto. that compulsion's really fierce. It's more like a compulsion to gamble than anything else. I don't.
You're right. It's a bit fruit machine type thing.
Yeah, and it's. I don't think that's good.
But I'd be more upset with it if the gunplay wasn't so.
Yeah, I mean, but it's fun. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. That compulsion's really, really worrying me. Like, if there was a Destiny for every kind of person, the world could go to pot and everyone's like, it's fucking double XP weekend. I ain't going to. It's
Back me up a line of Destiny.
exactly. It's not. I think it's kind of unhealthy. I see what. When I've done the second raid, I'm going to probably leave it alone for.
You won't though. You won't, because by the time you've done that,
September, new DLC. September,
exactly,
Big deal.
the big DLC.
It's not very far away at all, is it? Really?
And I like the fact that, like, I like the
Got
fact
E3
that.
and bang.
Exactly. I like the fact they prolong the lifeline of the game as well, because I mean, so many times I thought, right, okay, I'm done with Destiny. I put in countless hours. I'm happy with it. It's fine. I've enjoyed it. But I'm done. And then the new DLC comes out. It's not like a new game. It's just a little.
Something
nudge in the
different.
ribs, yeah, and you're like,
It's
okay, I'm
always there
back
in
in.
the back of my mind.
Yeah.
We were done for it for a long time though, weren't we? We were playing.
I literally just stopped, just out of the bat. I was just like, I'm done here. And then I saw the little trailer for the new DLC. I was just like, oh yeah, that gets me excited. The video's always really excited. And then started playing it again. It took me, a couple of little sessions to get into it.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's that big? Are you recording everything? Because I would
everything
say.
you say,
Right.
and then we'll see you later.
Well, I want it vlogged.
Okay, it's round the wrong way. Oh no, I thought you had the filter.
You're taking the piss?
No.
You just look like there was a filter at the end of your cigarette.
No.
Okay, it's okay. You can record everything, and I'll sign affidavit, David, that you can use it.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Draw that up, Joseph.
You're listening to LBC 37.3.
What's annoying about Destiny is that I'd love us six to take on you lot, like in the crew. So I think we'd kick your ass.
Oh, we do.
I don't know, Matt Murray is pretty.
I don't try.
Yeah, but just because he wouldn't realise when he'd lost and he'd just keep on firing stuff.
The Crucible is unbalanced though.
It's completely
No, well, yeah, it is unbalanced.
Every idiot uses that thorn.
Thorn? Does that, I just get killed by the thorn. It depletes your health. It's a pistol. Yeah.
So you get hit by it twice. Yeah. So you get hit by it twice, and
You
then
take cover and you die.
Yeah, but then you get the same with the throwing knives as a hunter. The throwing knives set people on fire, and when their health goes down.
Well, just go around slashing.
No, you throw. It's a throwing knife, so you get two.
Yeah, it's the melee on the hunter, and then you've got the special on the hunter with that knife attack. Then you can do is fucking eject and get into the air if you can. It's hilarious when there's a bunch of you.
Jumping off.
Everyone's landing off the ground. Yeah.
I got killed the other day and I shouted to those boys, just there's a hunter guy, and I just looked, everybody I was playing with just all hovered up into the air.
I mean, it is unbalanced. It's pretty bad, but like
The netcode
I don't think it's
very good either.
I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Your netcode fails quite a bit. Like I had one situation where I was shooting one guy and his health just wasn't going down. He killed me, and then I woke up and he was dead.
Yeah, right.
And it was that was annoying because I shouldn't have died then.
That special, the knife special with the hunter, it's so.
Like the worst special is the Titan with the ground power.
No.
Every time it's just like you can't do anything.
So do you play as a Titan?
No, I'm a.
So yeah, when you play as Titan, it's really hard to pull off. If you get hit, if you manage to get two guys, that's good. It's really hard because the most frustrating thing is you jump, you do it, and just about you're literally an inch from the ground, and you get shot in the head. And you're dead.
Really? You can get killed before that?
It's so hard to
You
get
see a Titan jump in the air, you know it's going to be
fucking yes, get in. Seriously.
But that knife, the hunter knife,
That's the one that really
it's it's overpowered because almost everybody uses it, and it goes on for so. But to be fair, I haven't used it.
Five streaks it comes up on that when someone's using it special every single time. Oh, fucking.
But you get killed by it, and then you're looking at the kill cam, and it's a guy still running around. And it goes on and on and on, and they're just killing everybody. You're just like, why? No wonder everyone uses it. It's so overpowered.
Yeah, but like, I still got time for the Crucible. Like, you still have those moments where you're a hero taking 3 people out around the fucking base and then taking the base and stuff like that.
I just really wish it was a bit more. I do think it's unbalanced. That's the problem with it. So yeah. When's E3?
Next week?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right,
Yeah.
couple of days. I mean, a lot of stuff has leaked this week, so we know a lot of stuff.
Like what?
Dark Souls 3.
A shell-shaded Transformers game.
Mirror's Edge 2.
That looks wicked.
But apparently there are some big surprises. I mean, Microsoft have said this is the best lineup we've ever had.
Their budget's 3 million or something.
3 million?
Something stupid, yeah.
For what?
Sure, we
Three.
Oh, right.
Their Xbox 3, yeah.
Halo campaign stuff.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. And Gears of War as
Halo
well.
stuff, yeah, Gears.
New Gears.
What annoys me about E3 is that the best E3 moment ever was when they said, hey, they showed Lost Planet for the first time. And then they were like, you can download this right now. So it's a demo. They've never done anything like that.
No, PT. Was that last E3?
They didn't do that at E3, did they?
Was that E3? Or was it at Tokyo Game Show?
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, I don't think it was E3 because
No, one of them, yeah, they turned around and went, there's a new app that you might want to try out. It's on the PlayStation 4, PT, go and check it out.
Oh, fair
that
enough.
was it. They didn't turn around and say, this is Silent Hills, guys. They just went, go and check this out.
Oh, fair. I mean,
that's why it was like, fuck me, there's this one of the best looking things I've ever seen in video gaming, and it was really interesting.
Rumour has it that Microsoft bought the rights to Silent Hill.
Yeah, I've heard that, but then the numbers being thrown about as
It's fucking
like,
ridiculous.
yeah, they were saying
In the billions, yeah.
and it's
In the
there's
billions.
no-
God, where are these? Where are these?
You're not
Where are
on Twitter
they?
anymore,
Oh.
Chet.
Where are they? Where are they originating these things? These figures? Where are they coming from? Nowhere. Just oh, okay, all right. Okay.
And they've apparently bought what was already made of Silent Hill. So Microsoft have bought the game so far because it was partly completed.
Had they? I
And
didn't. Even,
they paid like over $1 billion for it or something crazy, which is
That's
silly money.
ridiculous.
Silly money, but who knows? Could be a game changer, couldn't it?
I just want to see Rare back doing what they do best.
I really find that weird when people. It's like when they first moved to Microsoft, and everyone in Nintendo was very upset. The number of people who were at Rare when they were making those masterpieces they're not there anymore.
They're not,
so-
yeah, and I understand that, but then they've still got the IPs, and that's quite important. And if they stay true to what made the game so good in the first place, if you've got a decent team that know how to stay true to what
And
made
fans,
those
if they're
games so good,
fans as well.
yeah, then you're going to get a classic.
If they can churn out another classic like Perfect Dark Zero, I'll be happy.
You are having a giggle.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm
I
joking.
want to see Conker's Bad Fur Day come back, and they need a kart racer. Xbox need a kart racer. It wouldn't surprise me if Diddy Kong Racing was coming.
Do you really think they need a kart racer?
So they can't have Diddy.
Yeah, I don't think
I mean, you look at what Mario Kart did. It fucking absolutely crushed things.
Yeah, but then you've kind of got Forza and Forza Horizon for.
I know, but kids ain't playing Forza and Forza Horizon.
I think they are.
Yeah, Horizon definitely.
No chance.
Well, I mean, not really. I mean, you know, John's son is playing Mario Kart. I don't think that John's son is going to
it's
play
like-
Forza, but
it's-
at the same time, they're not really. They've never been after that market, have they? They're not going to. I don't think.
I reckon there's a gap there. Naked Channel. Imagine a very good kart racer on an Xbox console. About all the shit that comes along with Nintendo.
I think those machines, the PS4 and the Xbox, are so far removed from what the head of a family might think would be good for a living room. I don't think that they'd buy a Nintendo machine. But then again, they're not buying Nintendo machines either. Everyone's playing. My friend Wes, his kids, all they do is play Minecraft on iPad. That's all they play.
Yeah, it's just fucking Minecraft.
But he'd never buy an Xbox. I don't think anything. You'd have to sway people to buy him.
He'd never buy an Xbox.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Well, he doesn't really play games, does he? And his kids play games on iPad. And if you're looking
Yeah,
for a
but you've got to
console,
look at your son and just think, what are you doing, mate? You know what I mean? Fucking get a pad in your hand.
he's got 3 little girls, so
Oh,
it's,
what are you doing, girl? So what have you been playing then while you've been away from Chet and Jon's?
Destiny and Battlefield, and it's been
Are you
great.
still playing Battlefield? Seriously,
Except for
like,
the
are you still
fucking
playing it
ladder
quite
removal.
regularly?
Did you hear?
Be honest, are you still playing it regularly?
What?
Battlefield.
Recently, all I've been
We
playing.
went back for a bit, didn't we?
We did.
But then the patch, they fucking ruined it. They
What?
ruined Team Deathmatch.
Last time we went on there
got
with
rid
the
of
patch, I
ladders.
thought they'd fixed
Can't
it.
get-
No,
can't get on the roof.
they
Get rid of
fixed.
ladders.
Well, on the Team Deathmatch, so you can't get on the roof.
Oh god, yeah, that's
What
ridiculous.
they've done is they in the new patch they've taken the ability. Thank you, mate. They've taken the.
Cheers.
You can't.
Live here on Radio 1. Coming up next is... Never gets old. That's why some of you tell them.
Yeah, in Team Deathmatch on Battlefield 4 now, after the patch, you can't climb ladders. So you can't. Yeah. So so you're on ground level permanently. It's called. They've turned it into Call of Duty. It doesn't make it because at the end of the day, the battle in Battlefield and Team Deathmatch is for the rooftops. So you have to maintain
I
the
can't
roof.
help but feel that we was a kind of a catalyst.
Yeah, to be honest,
In this
we were too good at holding rooftops. The reason I think they did it is because I think they're going to give it away with Games with Gold and/or PlayStation Access, PlayStation Plus.
EA Access. If they
That's already on EA Access.
what is?
Battlefield 4.
Oh yeah, but if they bring Hardline out, I think that's going to be.
I'd be surprised if they. I'd be.
But you'd be surprised if it was Dragon Age as well, and they're the two that's being touted.
So have EA come out and said that
they're bringing out a big game on EA Access? There's a new game coming out announced at E3 in the vault.
it could be NBA Live
Do you know what,
05? Yeah,
do
exactly.
you know what freaks me out the most? What worries me the most is that they turn around. They won't do it, but if they turn around and said FIFA 16 is coming out free on EA Access, right? It would make sense because they make so much money from Ultimate Team. Obviously, they make money from the disc sales as well, so they won't do it. But that would suddenly turn the game from desirable to
Essential.
no, not even essential. It'd be kind of like there must be something wrong with it. There must be like less effort put into it.
Well, they'd also try and microtransactions would be all over it.
Exactly.
What happened with this raid last night anyway? Because
We
started talking about that.
there was 4 of us, and we thought.
Interesting.
We done all right, to be fair.
Actually, I'm glad if I didn't say it.
We done all right. You know, we had 40% of our weapons damage down.
You get people extra then.
We had 4.
Get Zeno.
Well, we got through the main doors.
No, we got to a boss. There was some.
Chet said to me that you defeated the first boss.
No, we didn't defeat the first boss.
Hold on a minute. We killed the first, and then those
No,
things.
we done the section at the beginning, so we got into the vault,
Yeah.
and then we started on the next section.
Started on the first boss.
Yeah, so you got the
bits.
not the no, we didn't even get. Well, I think we got to the oracles once.
But were you defending the core?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do it with 4 people.
No, you can't.
You can actually do it with 4 people.
Well, I know
someone's done it on
technically.
their own,
Yeah, I know you can do it with
so
one
what?
person, but I don't think.
Yeah, that was me.
Well done, Nick.
Have you, how much Prison of Elders have you done?
4 or 5 rounds.
Have you done the Vex guy?
Yeah. But,
The guy where he freezes you in that bubble.
oh no, I've not done that.
It's a living hell. A living hell.
High level.
Seriously, I was.
We literally we done it on a 32, and
We were all 32. Just joking,
Yeah, that's the next level up. Yeah.
you do them on a normal setting. Like on that 32, you fight them twice. You fight them the first time round, and it's just pretty much standard. Yeah, and you smash them up.
Freeze rate.
I mean, we had 3 bubbles going on. We was rocking out 3 times, 3 bubbles. We just had constant bubbles everywhere. It was wicked.
No, it was 2. No, it was,
Long live the bubbles.
No, it was us 3.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
What is the bubble actually called?
Ward of Dawn, isn't it?
Ward of Dawn. Ward of Dawn.
The other shot.
Yeah, the bollock. You protect your bollock.
The ball at the bubble.
Turkey bomb.
Yeah. So you constantly, as soon as one bubble's gone, another bubble's going up. So constant protection. And then Joseph was just throwing grenades for this special all the time with his warlock. It was wicked. Yeah, perfect. And then you get to the last boss, and he keeps freezing you in this weird bubble
That you can't get out of.
that you can't get out.
Unless you get a
No,
shot
there
on
must
him.
be a way that.
Well, no, there is, but it doesn't work. You can't get the
just got
final
hit.
touch right.
By the way, as well. So it's not just
You know what it's
frozen.
like. You have to do it within 30 seconds. You've got to do it in the first 30
You
seconds.
will have to have like maxed out.
We've got to have
Galahorns,
Galahorns
basically.
maxed out,
That's the only way to do it.
ready to go.
It's
30 seconds.
ridiculous. It's broken.
How do you get this Galahorn that everyone keeps talking about?
You just get it by random.
What is this? No, a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
I've got
Prison of Elders,
the
didn't you?
very first time I ran the Prison of Elders on
stitched up
level
with some shitty
28.
gold machine gun.
Oh no, what if you stay separate?
No, they still
Just
get
freeze
you
it,
three
all
different
you.
bubbles.
Gives you 3 different bubbles.
Yeah.
You get caught no matter what. There's no escape. You can't jump. You can't do anything. There's literally no escape.
There will be a solution to
Yeah,
that.
there's
No, it's
got-
not right. There will be a
We went
solution.
online and the solution.
I bet it's something like, I'll just jump.
That's exactly what I thought. You know, I've tried a few times.
I was furious.
You know, I was thinking you've got to jump.
Pissed off.
It has the bubble in you, and you fall out of the bubble when you're in that mid-air
Just
point.
get on
But
whenever.
no,
You know, it's like I've got a bit of a time. You know, kids are in bed, wife's at the gym. Get on. I want my treasure.
Yeah, that kills me. That kills me.
Seriously.
When you go through a day at work, you come home, you've got a screaming baby.
An hour is like a serious bit of gaming.
Yeah, sometimes Destiny is
I
like
need my
brilliant.
treasure at the end of it.
Exactly.
You boys want my treasure at the end of it. I'm like you get your treasure the next day. Not like a week.
I'm exactly the same, because sometimes it'll just start slinging shit at you, and you're like, this hour was worthwhile. And then some days you turn your computer off and you want to kill a man. Like, it's just like,
fucking treasure.
my treasure.
It's like a fruit machine. You're just waiting for that little pop in the corner of a purple weapon or an exotic or something to ping up in the right.
I'm definitely ready to play another Assassin's Creed game. And
because you didn't play the last two, did you?
I've never said that in my life. I'm definitely ready to play another Assassin's Creed.
As long as you have breaks in between the Assassins.
2 in a week. A week.
Yeah, that was a dog.
No, you've got to remember that.
That was graft, mate. That was
He's
graft.
got to create those vines.
Some of us.
That was graft. Right?
I love that. I got home early, 2 o'clock I think it was. Put on Destiny. He's on there with Tash.
Yeah, but
I did that from work. You know, done my day's graft. I'm on, a couple of cruises. What are you up to? I'm grafting, son. That's grafting.
I've got to be honest with you.
Crucible grafting, are you? Oh, right.
I love you, mate, but when you turn around and say, I haven't got time to play that game, I do kind of think, here you are.
Oh, it's graft. Oh, that was actual graft, right? Real graft. You wouldn't know the meaning of real graft.
This guy's literally digging up trees.
Yeah. Zerd does about as much graft as you.
Oh my god, a genuinely brilliant Destiny joke. Who'd have thought it?
People, you know how upset people got about Peter Dinklage?
What?
No.
Why?
When the beta came out, there were
It's a
loads of
fantastic opportunity to do something that isn't just being like him on the screen.
there were people
As an actor,
thought
he's a
that
brilliant actor.
people thought his performance was really bad, and I thought his performance
not
was
at
really
all.
good. No,
I think
I
it's
thought his
good
performance.
as well.
It sounds like a robot trying to approximate a human being.
Yeah.
And everyone's his
a
Dinklage's
Just
performance.
got to the end of that, and that was really weird.
Dinklage on.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
No, it's not. Why is it bad?
Because it's
No,
just.
not at all.
It sounds like an AI approximating human emotions. I think his performance is really fucking good.
I agree.
Yeah, you're in a mental case. It's.
What's wrong with it though?
Because it's just. You know what's wrong with it? For the whole start of the game, fine. When he's announcing stuff, this is happening now, fine. It's when they try to introduce comedy into
When do they introduce
the little light bit.
the little light?
Is that the one bit?
No, but it doesn't
There's more
matter.
underlying.
When he turned around and said, "Oh, go away, little light, do not call me."
No,
He's not saying like that.
He said I'm a ghost.
Don't do that. He said, don't do
Didn't
that.
even say that.
To the point that
Didn't even say that.
He does.
small.
No, she said, "Oh, you're a little, something a little light." And he goes, "Oh, I'm a ghost."
Come on.
That's not the bit.
Maybe let's sort of to say.
No, it's the bit after that where they was just
No,
like.
it's a genuine performance. I'm a big fan.
We go,
I think it's good. I think
go
it's good.
down there, little light.
If you said it was
Then you just go,
acceptable,
don't
fine,
do
but
that.
you're saying it's a genuine
remember that bit.
performance.
Yeah, well, it
I
happened.
think it is. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, are you going to side with a bunch of furious people on the internet, or are you going to side with a classically trained actor?
Hold on, why have I got to side with them by saying that I don't like their performance? I'm not angry about it. I've never kicked off about it.
But I'm
just saying it's a bad performance. Like it's not great. It's not great.
How would you like an actor who's approximating human emotions? It's an AI.
Yeah, I get that, but it's when the comedy gets involved.
I don't
I don't see any comedy in
neither do I.
Destiny at
Neither do
all.
light.
I didn't remember that.
Little light.
There's a
that
couple
was
of
a
bits.
blatant thing for. It's funny, isn't it? Because he's angry because she's calling her.
But why would you write off his entire performance because of a couple of bits about?
Because I think it affects the tone of everything he does after.
Yeah, but that's a problem with everyone but Dinklage. That's not Dinklage's problem.
But I'm not slagging Dinklage.
Oh, you're saying he's giving a bad performance?
I'm saying it's a bad performance, yeah. And whether that's down to scripting, whether that's down to whatever.
Yeah, so then that's not his fault. I mean, I don't remember the bit you're talking about, Little Light. I don't remember.
I
How do you not remember that? That's like the biggest cutscene.
That doesn't stick at any point.
No. That was one segment.
You're absolutely right.
And how I feel about his performance
And it doesn't automatically
And you know what
turn.
makes it awkward, right, as well? Like, in my opinion,
fantastic actor.
know what
it
makes
works really well.
Yeah, I think
he is a brilliant actor. I'm not slagging the man off.
Oh, no, I don't
I'm
think
saying
you
that performance was weak. And I tell you something.
Compared to what, the
Do you
guilty
know
spot?
what? Do you know what's really bad as well? Like, if you're going into a situation like Bungie knew how big Destiny could be, but then why didn't they pick an actor that could have the through line throughout all the DLC and all that sort of stuff?
What do you mean?
Well, like none of the DLC, House of Wolves, Dark Below, doesn't feature different.
Because they probably can't afford
People
it.
hung up on too much on who he is, not what they're trying to do with this game. They've taken a lot of that. It's not just.
No, I totally agree with that. I cannot argue that. What I will say is that I do think it was a bad performance, but not like I suppose I am singling him out, but not to the point where the Twitter people go off or whatever.
Yeah, no.
But like I was
That's
disappointed
extreme.
when you hear someone. It's like Kevin Spacey in Advanced Warfare. You expect something. You expect Kevin Spacey to give it, and he was just doing the usual shit. And maybe that's not his fault. I'm not saying it's Dinklage's fault.
Kevin Spacey signed on to do Advanced Warfare without a script. So he gives exactly the performance I'd expect of him, which was just for the money.
But we've all seen Kevin Spacey do an amazing.
Yeah, when he has something invested in the material. Because the thing about his character.
Would you say Dinklage was invested in the material?
I would absolutely say that he did his job perfectly. The thing about
No, that's not what I asked you. I said, was he invested in the material?
Yeah, I'd say to the degree that he. Yes, I would.
Yeah, you talk bullshit.
No.
And there's no way that Dinklage is wondering what the Traveller's doing. There's no way.
No, that's you're taking it to an extreme there. I mean, I'm not saying he got involved. No, you don't have to get involved in the law and start understanding about
That's
what
not the law, it's this fucking story.
Dinklage was hired to be an artificial intelligence that was supposed to be mimicking human emotions.
And he sounded like a person that was hired to.
No, he doesn't. That sounds like a very, very smart actor's interpretation of what he was asked to do.
I disagree. For me, it sounded. I didn't think it was terrible. I just didn't.
Whenever Dinklage it tries to induce stress, when he starts saying, "Oh, I've got a bad feeling about it," it sounds like a machine trying to replicate something to try and.
You're totally right. He's not like you're right.
So how can you say that that's a bad job by the actor?
But it's not those moments that bug me. It's the moments where he's delivering normal, mundane lines, which should be normal and mundane, but they sound half-assed. Something went wrong. I think something went wrong. I don't think it's quite right. I don't think it's right.
I think the beauty of it is that it doesn't sound like it's quite right. He doesn't sound quite right. That's the whole point. He's a machine mimicking.
About fucking anything.
No, you can't. It's very specific to the point. He's a machine pretending to be human.
I think he makes a great companion throughout the game. I really do.
Yeah.
I was amazed when people were dissing
anything he said.
I just think
I wouldn't go that far, but I just rate him as an actor and I rate him in that game.
Absolutely, and I'm not slagging him off, but in that game,
New series?
I've not watched Game of Thrones. I'm sure he's brilliant. I watched him in Elf, and he was good in that. And
No, seriously, you've not watched any Game of Thrones?
I don't know fantasy and dragons and shit.
be like.
Again,
Play The Witcher.
No, the Destiny's not got
Hang on a minute.
dragons.
Okay, so that was that, and that was those two things. The third thing, which is Dave and I playing Wii games, we realised while we were doing it a few nights ago that it would make a better video than audio. It's not particularly thrilling listening, so instead what I'm going to do very briefly now is ask Dave to give a very short one line, one paragraph, whatever you want to do, of basically every, more or less, I'm pretty sure I've got every game that we played on the Wii, and you can watch the video. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if you can remember.
You're asking me to remember that. Right, we did this half drunk and half hungover. Yeah. This is what? This is that happened on Sunday, was it?
Yeah.
And it's now Wednesday night. So
it was either this or don't put anything and just say, hey, check out the. I thought it would be. It's just a way to.
It might be fun for us both to try and remember. Like,
I've reviewed the footage, so but this I'll leave it to you. I'll see where we go because this is.
Okay.
But if you want to see what this looks like, we're going to put a video up on the Chet and John YouTube channel in the next day or two. So check that out. Okay, you ready?
Right, I will try and remember. Medal of Honor Vanguard was one.
Oh, you remember the title? Okay, right.
Yeah,
Let me read. I'll read them out in the order that we played them, and then you can just say what you thought of them.
Oh, right. Okay, fine. Go. All right. Rude.
Okay.
No, all right. Kind of ruining the game there. God, just say the names of the game, Dave. Okay, right. Here's the first one. All right, I'll read the list out that I've got in front of me.
Okay, but it took me ages to compile this list. Why don't we do your original plan? Why don't we do what you?
Just do it. No, just do it. We'll read it out.
No. I want to see how many you can remember.
Okay, right. So, Medal of Honor Vanguard, the family games. What was that called?
What did you think of Medal of Honor Vanguard?
I thought it was terrible. It was awful to control, and it looked like shit. It was just pitch black, wasn't it? It was just completely pointless, and there was a whole level set in a single barn. So, not great. The games, the family games.
Big family games, yeah.
That was brilliant. It was just the music was insanely good, and made me feel like part of your family. To be honest with you, so job done. Mr. Bean, the video game, which we played in Italian, I believe. So we didn't know what we were doing, where we were going. We didn't know how to progress, and when we finally did, we realised we shouldn't bother. And it had one of the best death animations I've ever seen in a video game. What else did we play? Looney Tunes, which was just awful. It was like a third-person action game cartoon thing that I didn't know how to aim or what to do. It was atrocious. I hated it. Right, now I'm struggling. Oh, of course, Hotel for Dogs. Easily the best game we played that night, I think. Or the next morning. That was fun. I was saying about Hamster Ball. It was like complete Hamster Heroes, I think it was called.
Nice job, yeah.
Yeah. That was a Monkey Ball rip-off where they decided that Monkey Ball wasn't quite hard enough, and you had to control it with the Wiimote, which made it infinitely harder. But then again, I still nearly made it to the end of the first level, so win-win. Now we're struggling. We played a lot of movie ties. I remember that horror game. What was the horror game called? That was actually genuinely quite interesting.
Obscure 2, it was called.
Yeah, that was interesting. Like, it did some weird things that you kind of expect from more sophisticated horror games. And although I don't know. I think I don't know what you felt about that, but I did kind of feel like we were getting into it just a little bit.
Yeah, it was. The controls were taut, and it would look reasonably, especially in comparison to almost everything else we played. It looked quite nice. I could happily have sat there and tried to see what happens in that game easily. Yeah. Yeah,
exactly, because it just kept flashing about, didn't it? One minute you were in a hall taking drugs, and next you were like in a forest with like things that are dead. I can't remember any combat though. Oh, wasn't there a baseball bat?
Yeah, someone picked up a baseball bat, yeah.
And we were hitting the bags hanging for the thing, and your friends were crying inside them and stuff like that. It was good. I liked it.
The thing is, a lot of those games I didn't realise they're NTSC, so I don't even know if that came out of here. A lot of them probably didn't, especially some of the more obscure movie. Especially Hotel for Dogs. I've never heard of that film, and I don't think it actually came out of here. So
I never come out over it. Also, I remember that I was complaining that there was no beds in Hotel for Dogs, but I think it was driving back from yours, I instantly thought, well, there wouldn't be, would there? It's a hotel for dogs. People, you thick bastard. So when you get to that bit, ignore what I'm saying about that if he keeps it in. Right, I'm just trying to think. I'm struggling big time now. You're going to have to read off the ones.
Hold on.
That is the funniest thing. Please keep that in, because one thing I learned about Chet this weekend is that every time he coughs, he hiccups, and I've never heard anything like it.
Is that weird?
Yeah.
Sorry, hold on. And I'm burping as well.
Breath. Do you want a really, really good way of getting rid of hiccups that will probably save your life?
Yeah, go on.
fill a glass up with water, put straw in it, stick your fingers in your ears and suck the water out for as long as you can.
That sounds like absolute horseshit. There's no way in the world I'd ever do that.
It works for me.
Put your fingers in your ears.
Put your fingers in your ears, the straw in the water, and then suck the water down. It works for me every time, and I get hiccups a lot. So
just not when you're coughing.
Just not when I'm coughing randomly like that, no.
Okay.
But if you ever get stuck with them, yeah, the old finger in the ear job, straight up.
To be honest, for the duration of time that most people have hiccups, that sounds like a massive pain in the neck. And who has straws in their home?
Well, I'm usually in a pub, so I just usually ask for a glass of water, and I'm there, I'm sorted. The other surefire way to get rid of them is the extreme case scenario where you stick your fingers down your throat and make yourself gag for a bit, and that gets rid of them as well. Tips with Uncle Dave. Right. Okay. You're going to have to read out the ones I missed.
Okay, there might be some that I've forgotten or that I've missed in some sort of... but here's basically what we played. Kung Fu Panda, Legendary Warriors, remember that?
Oh, yeah, I remember that being quite good, do I?
Nope. Well, I thought it was terrible, but it's just a third-person...
Oh, no, Space Monkeys was the one that was quite good. Yeah. Carry on.
Link's crossbow training, amazing.
It was okay. It was a light gun game.
Yeah, solid 9 out of 10.
It came out, it was a proper budget, wasn't it? So
20 quid with the zapper.
Yeah, it's not bad. The old Frank.
Lost in Blue, Shipwrecked.
No, I do not remember that at all.
You could tell we're quite drunk by that point. It's some RPG where you're a child who leaves a dog on a boat or something.
What?
Yeah, I don't remember either. There's video footage, so we'll see it.
Was that? No, hold on. Was that the like the anime style one?
Yes, I think so. No. That was something else. It was a really bright and breezy sort of cartoony RPG where you're on a desert island and there's a dog or a cat. I can't remember. I mean, you'll see footage of it.
What's it called again?
Lost in Blue, #shipwrecked, colon.
Shipwrecked. Okay, fine.
Okay. Marines, Modern Urban Combat.
Jesus, what was that?
This was after we stopped playing this, you said, I'm going to bed, I can't stay awake anymore. So this was the absolutely last game we played. It was like a Call of Duty rip-off, and it was spectacularly shit, but again, you can see footage of it on the YouTube.
I'm looking at screenshots of Lost in Blue Shipwrecked, and I do not recognise this at all. So I'm interested to see that footage.
Yeah, and you can hear yourself talk about it as well, so we'll see.
Good, that would be interesting.
Medal of Honor Vanguard, terrible, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reflex Edition.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it was controllable a lot more. You could tell that a lot more effort went into the controls in that over Modern Warfare, definitely. Over Medal of Honor, definitely. Yeah.
We should have checked if the actual thumbstick pads worked with that. I'd be curious to know because I had an online.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, could you imagine like everyone playing online like with their Wiimote and nunchuck? Fuck that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd have given it a shot.
Well, I'd have given it a shot with the pad because you'd have probably raked up the kills, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, although I think I saw a video of someone playing Black Ops on Wii because I wanted to know what it looked like, and he was decking people with the Wiimote nunchuck combo. People who had pads, because I think it was like Mario Kart. It has a little symbol on the leaderboard to tell you what people have got.
Yeah, but like someone's completed Dark Souls with the Guitar Hero pad, so the Guitar Hero guitar. So people are capable of anything.
I think someone's completed Halo with that thing as well. So yeah.
Yeah, there you go. What you've done there is taken my example and inserted an easier game into the equation.
How do you walk around with the? I suppose you use the little D-pad.
You lift it's got the tilt sensor. I think he was like moving him forward and back by lifting the fret up and down the fretboard.
I'd say he must have rewired this guitar himself. I mean, because
I don't think it's a function in the game, Chet. Do you know what I mean?
No, but what I mean is it's not like anyone could just plug that into their 360 or PS3 and then play the game.
No, obviously no. I think it was done on the PC.
All right. He probably had a sneaky second wire going to his brother in the next room with a pad, I should imagine. Right, look,
hadn't even considered that.
Do you remember Cooking Mama?
I do remember Cooking Mama. I remember being absolutely excellent at it, whereas opposed to you. What does she keep saying? She keeps saying, like, no more mind. or something like that.
Yeah,
it was so really weird.
I can't remember. We'll see.
I bet it's really obvious when you put the real audio onto it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. All right, Emergency Heroes.
Emergency Heroes, was that the driving game with the
water cannons?
Yeah, and that really smug dude turned up at the end, like still like, you know, was just giving a little kissy face, like just like pouting. Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
Excite Truck.
And after that, yeah, Excite Truck, that was really good. I like that. Yeah, thumbs up from old David Turnip.
FIFA 10.
Oh fuck yeah, we played about 40 FIFA games.
Yeah, only 3, but yeah, FIFA 10 was the first one.
Yeah, that family who owned that box before certainly liked their football games, didn't they?
And their Harry Potter games and their Lego games and all that stuff.
Yeah. One of them was actually genuinely okay. I think it was FIFA 10. FIFA 9 was poor, and South Africa was basically FIFA 9.
We never played FIFA 9. We played FIFA 10, which was, I think, the rubbish one. I think FIFA 11 was slightly better, and then 20. And then World Cup, I can't remember. I think World Cup and 10 were the rubbish one. 11 was the good one.
You needed to shake your pad to shoot was, I mean, it was ridiculous. You're trying to play a fluid game of football and it goes into slow motion. It's just weird.
Yeah, okay. No, good point. Okay, whatever number. I haven't numbered these. Hotel for Dogs was the next one, which
El Clasico.
Yeah, you need to. People should really. I mean, I don't know if the video is going to be much fun to watch. Hopefully, it is. But Hotel for Dogs. Yeah, find the Hotel for Dogs bit.
I was belly laughing throughout that whole playthrough. Yeah, it was quality.
Iron Man the game.
Oh yeah, they licensed Motorhead to be in it. Unbelievable.
Motorhead, wasn't it?
Not Motorhead. No, it's not ACDC either. It's Black Sabbath, isn't it?
Black Sabbath, yeah, of course.
Jesus. Yeah. We're metalers.
Yeah, you're just Tony Stark in a big fat suit walking through a cave. That's as far as we got.
Yeah, it was bad.
Mr. Bean's Wacky World of Wii, again, that'll be
genius.
Be on the video. Obscure 2, again, it'll be on the video. I think it's actually we were really taken by surprise.
I was expecting, I was so ready to hate it, you know what I mean? And then I just thought, actually, this is doing some interesting shit, straight off the bat. So, quite literally. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I might play that again at some point.
I might look it up actually and see what sort of reaction it got when it came out.
Or even if it came out over here, it doesn't strike me as the kind of thing that would have got released over here. But
you're probably right.
Hamster Heroes was just a fucking ridiculously hard, stupid monkey ball game, which we've already said. Jumper, the game based on the
oh yeah, Jesus, yeah. Well, there was some weird shit going on in that as well, wasn't there? It was just confusing.
Yeah, kung fu shooting. Yeah, were you supposed to be a good guy? You were just killing policemen, or were you?
That's right. That's right. You did. The police turn up. You just start absolutely stabbing them. If I'm,
it was a knife, wasn't
it? Yeah.
Unnecessarily
stabbing the shit out of them.
Then it was Secret Files 2, Puratus Cordis.
Oh God, that was the point and click thing, wasn't it?
With an old man getting killed by Sam Fisher and his mate in the garden.
Yeah, it was.
The next one was Space Chimps, which I remember you saying was amazing.
I did say it was amazing. It was just, I mean, I suppose compared to the other games we played, it was actually very bad.
This is amazing, 9 out of 10. I'm pretty sure you said those words.
I did have a lot to drink.
This was the day after, but all right, I'll let you off.
I was still drinking.
yeah. FIFA World Cup South Africa we've done. Baroque. Which was the very, very mean and moody Japanese RPG that we just turned on.
Yeah, because I mean, it was even pointless us turning that on because it's like you don't see the game at all, really, did you? It was like a shitload of dialogue, and it was them walking about for a bit, and yeah, just absolutely pointless us loading that up.
Just really, really busy menus, and just like I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
What we wanted. After that, we played Batman: The Brave and the Bold, which is genuinely a superb game.
Yeah, the more I played that, the more I started to like it. Like I could see that being like, especially if I was a kid, man, I'd absolutely adore that sort of game. Yeah. So yeah, digging that.
It's a shame that hasn't been ported to. I thought it was going to turn up on Xbox Live Arcade because it came out on the Wii, God knows when. But if that had got ported to PS3 and Xbox 360, I think it would have made some real dosh because it gets really, really. elaborate and complicated as it goes on, but in a really good way. And that was right before we played Big Family Games, which was a mini. We didn't check all of them. There was something like 15 mini games, but we tried 2, and they were exactly the same.
Yeah, we tried 3 if I remember correctly. We tried the dart throwing and the horse throwing was exactly the same.
Yeah, that's right.
The horseshoe throwing, but there was that was it. It was the water one, wasn't it? Where you had to spray each other with water pistol.
Oh yeah, another weird sort of
But it was completely pointless because you just held the fire button and walked towards each other, and then you both died, and it was like there was no tactics to it at all. It was just, it was weird. How did the music go? Yeah,
I'll stick it at the end of this podcast, and as I did with the, it starts at the beginning.
And
so
at the start and throughout the whole podcast, just have it playing low level in the background.
Would that be really insufferable? Would that...
Yes, it would.
I just thought that might be quite nice, just underlying sort of Wii music. Thought it might be, maybe it'd be good.
Maybe just over this bit, you could just like.
Okay. All right, so yeah, I'll start it. As soon as we start talking about the games, I'll start playing that music. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. That was all the games we played. I think we made.
No, I'm sure we played. We didn't play more of that.
I may have missed some off, but as far as I'm aware, that's it. So
I am definitely coming down again, and we are definitely doing this again. There is no doubt in my mind that we need to do this again at some point.
I'm up for that. The only problem is that I think we zeroed in on the shittest looking games. There was a lot of like movie licenses, which were like the Iron Man one was just like, this is just dull.
Yeah, I know. I know. We got to mix it up a little bit more, I think.
Oh, well, we can play all of Big Family Games. I know that.
Absolutely, and hope they all have that incredible music.
Well, you'd be mad to ditch it. But okay, well, hopefully we get to do that again soon. Hopefully this has been enjoyable to listen to. If not, check out the YouTube channel, because then you can watch some of the footage of the games we just mentioned, and that will be that. So that's the end of this weird thing, whatever it is. Thanks very much for listening. That's about it. Check out the YouTube channel, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Thank you for your contributions, David.
Thank you for your contributions.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.